So now you had a chance to create a few variables, define a few variables and assign them with some values, and practice doing that in Python. You may have come up with a few errors along the way. So this little video is just to show you some of the common syntax and logic errors that you get. You just find that the more you program, the more you know about programming, the larger your programs become, the more errors that you will get. And debugging is just a part of programming. It's just being able to identify what the error is saying to you and be able to then know how to resolve it. So let's look at a few common syntax errors to start with. I've got my program as we had just a second ago. So username equals Claire. Now if I were to take those quotes away from Claire, no longer am I trying to assign the word Claire, the string, and put that into the username. So I'm trying to assign username with that value. What I'm actually doing is going to see Claire as a variable, because it will think that I'm trying to put whatever the contents of Claire is as a variable into whatever the contents inside username. Let me show you. I run this, it's going to pop up. Claire is not defined, which is saying to you that it thinks this is a variable, but it hasn't been defined in the code yet. So I put this back round because all of your string values have to have those quotes around it. 39, of course, doesn't, because it is a number, and 5.5 is. Now, these are two different types of numbers, but we're going to look at that later. Okay, so another one would be a spelling error. So let's just say I'd spelled height wrong here, but height right here. So let's run this. Now, Python doesn't really care that you don't know how to spell height correctly. What it is saying is that this variable identifier, this variable name, HIEGHT, is a completely different location in memory to this one. So this does not relate to that because they are spelt differently. If I were to spell this one incorrectly too, Python doesn't care. In fact, it's quite happy. It will run the program as we expected it, because that would then be a logic error because I've spelt it wrong, not a syntax error. The syntax error occurred because it did not understand the variable that we had given it. Let me just change that back round. Other variable syntax errors, other than the usual for the prints and the brackets, it's going to be the same. You cannot do it this way round. You can't say 39 equals age. Won't like that. I can't assign to a literal because this is a number. Okay, so it can't do that. So you have to have the variable name, then the assignment operator, and then the value. And a logic error, I suppose, would be just assigning it with the wrong value entirely. I could be 15 foot 5 inches if I wanted to be, but of course that would be incorrect. It would give an incorrect reading, which would be a logic error. Okay, so if you haven't already, complete the tasks regarding the logic errors for assigning variables, and then you can move on with the rest of the lesson.